Hello again, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about the SmallRig Rm75 video light. This isn't just a normal video light though, this is an RGB smart magnetic video light. So that's a mouthful. Let's get into it and see what it's all about. Here you have the set dial, the power on off button and the USB Type-C charging port. On the opposite end you have the 1/4 inch mounting thread. This is the back LCD panel. So if we just switch on the light there now, so you see the back display lights up, and when we turn the set dial above and top, you can function or alternate between the different modes. So this is the SmallRig Rm75 light. Now you might think, God, that's tiny, that could fit in your pocket so easily. And yes, it does. And yes, it is really small. But this is a really powerful light. Honestly, no, let me just switch it on. Just blind you all completely there for a second. So that's at 100% output. If I turn it towards myself, that is really bright. That really. So I mean, it's not some dull little candlelight you're going to put in the corner. This thing really is bright. So it's bright. It's a 4 amp hour battery inside in it. So it'll last anything from 3 to 16 hours on a full charge. And the really cool thing is it will charge in 2 hours with a USB PD charger. So a fast charger will charge this in 2 hours. How awesome is that? Because the really cool thing about that is it means that you can actually get this to run continuously. You leave the switch on at 100%, connected to a USB PD, charger, it's not going to wear down the battery. It's going to keep constantly topping up the battery. So you can use this all day practically. So that's really, really handy. It is also smart. So you can connect it to your Android device or your iOS device. You can control not only the intensity, the color, and the tint too as well on this light. So really cool. It has loads of different effects. I'm going to put the effects in the blog post, which I'm going to put in the comments down below. So you can, if you want to know more about the effects, there's things like fireworks, there's RGB, there's random, there's police siren, there's a whole load of ambulance, fire truck. You know, there's a massive amount of effects you can use on this. But for me, for a solo creative or a YouTuber, it is incredibly handy. I can use something like this now as a hair light, and that's huge. Think about it, right? I'm sitting here, I have a hair light on over me, it's just up here. So if that's set incorrectly, right, I have to get up and change the intensity of the light. But the problem being is I'm now after getting up, so I can no longer see what the final image is going to look like because of the fact that I'm no longer here. So there's nothing to shine it on. So what I can do now is pop this up, put it up as a hair light, get out my phone, connect to it, and adjust the intensity and just watch the monitor just up over the camera there and say, oh God, that looks right there now, and say, perfect, switch off my phone and continue my video. That's going to be so blooming handy. Or let's say even if you're out shooting a scene, you're using two of these as background lights, you're lighting up a wall or something now, and there's a model there walking around, or you're shooting a music video or something, and there's people moving around the place, and you're thinking, like, do you know, how is this going to look? And you change the color temperature, and then you're wondering about the intensity, the angle. What you can do is you can actually put these in place, and you can adjust the intensity and the color of two of them separately on your phone from the camera's position. So rather than running over, bringing the intensity up a small bit, and then running back and looking at it and saying, oh yeah, that looks kind of okay-ish now, you can actually do it all from one spot without running around the place like a lunatic for 10-15 minutes. It makes you look more professional, it saves you an awful lot of time, and saves you energy. So really cool, absolutely love that. The next thing then is magnetic. It's magnetic on three sides, so it's magnetic on the side, the other side, the bottom, which also has a 1/4" mounting port too as well, mounting screw. It's not magnetic on the top because that's where your power on off switch is, and your settings dial is, and also your USB charging point. It's also magnetic on the back too as well, I should say. And when I talk about the back, the next thing I should tell you is there is a small little screen in the back too as well. Well, it's not that small, but it'll actually tell you a number of different things. It'll tell you what mode you're in, the light intensity, but also really coolly, it will give you a battery analysis. So it will actually tell you what percentage of battery you have left to a certain extent, as in the normal battery graph comes up now, you get most of them, there's either 3 or 4 segments in it, and it'll tell you, oh, if your battery is, let's say 3/4 good, half good, a quarter, or it's gone, or it's full, so, which is handy enough. But the really cool thing about this one is, it'll actually tell you in time, how much time you've left. So if you're out shooting with these, and you're after doing, let's say, 2 or 3 hours of video shoot or whatever else, and you're saying, right, I have another scene to shoot over there, I need these lights on. Now, will they last? Are they going to cut in the middle of the scene? How are you going to know? Quite simple. Switch on the light, set it to the desired intensity, and it's going to tell you on the back how long the battery's going to last. That's really blooming handy. Because if any of the other lights I have, you set it to 30%, or the battery's at 30%, let's say, you set the intensity to 100%, and you're kind of going, ooh, let me see now. That might last 35 minutes, or is it an hour and 10 minutes, or is it an hour, or is it 50 minutes? You pop this on and it's going to give you a very good idea. So I'm really loving that feature. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to connect on my app. Give me 2 seconds there now. I'm just opening it out. So connecting. So now I've accessed the one on the left here. You can see that's gone white. So if I go HSI and pull this down, I can now vary the intensity of that light. So I can bring it up full if I want, or bring it way down along to whatever intensity I want. You say, look, I want it somewhere roughly around there, let's say. So, okay, that's one light done. I'm going to go to the second light. When I go up to the second light there now, I'm going to go on, I'm going to pick my color here now again, and I'm going to set my intensity. So if I get out of the way there now, you can see that's actually a bit too bright. But let's say I wanted to change the color and I wanted to go more pink, let's say, right? So I'm getting a bluey pink background there now. And what I want to do is just drop down the intensity just so it's not so nuts. Sorry, I didn't have my finger in the right spot. And we'll say, there now, that's a bit more balanced. That's what I'm looking for. That's a really cool effect. So you're thinking, okay, perfect, that's my background lit. I'm doing all this remotely, and I can say, no, I actually want to up that a small bit again, and say, right, I'm going to bring that up, and you know, I've changed my mind, I'm going to go back to blue, and bang, there you have it. So you can adjust your background, or as I was, you know, I suppose I was thinking personally, I'm going to use this for a hair light. So I have a hair light up here, and I'm going to use it for the hair light. I think I mentioned it earlier on already, so I'm going to be able to adjust the intensity of the hair light from here. So that's going to be absolutely fantastic from my point of view. So just getting back to the main features again, this is a beautiful little light. The size of it, look at it, isn't it cute? I just, you know, that just fits into your pocket so blooming easily, and it is so functional, and it is so cheap. You'll buy those for, I think, about $80 or so so I mean, that is fantastic value for money. $80 for a smart light that's magnetic. I know the magnetic thing isn't huge. It really isn't from my point of view. But the magnetic thing is handy too as well at the same time. It has all those FX functions, And the USB PD fast charging is absolutely massive. I would buy this light, and I fully intend on buying at least 1 or 2 of these lights purely because of the smart connection and the USB PD charging facility, because that's going to keep my YouTube gear or my YouTube setup running constantly, that if I make a mess of a video, I'm not going to have to say, oh no, my battery's going to be gone in 20 minutes or that one's going to be gone in 15 minutes. I can just forget about it. I can just switch them on and let them run away, and they're going to keep running. So that is really cool. And the battery capacity thing too as well in the back. Absolutely awesome. Beautiful job again, SmallRig. And yeah, that's basically it. So, oh, by the way, I have to tell you a funny note too as well. I broke my microphone. I have it strapped on here. Which is, I started doing the video and actually snapped the bracket for the microphone. So yeah, it's a funny coincidence because one of the other things, I actually have it over here. SmallRig sent me out a microphone too as well to test. So I have a SmallRig mic. I'm going to be popping up a video of there in the next week or so. So that's a funny coincidence. You think I actually broke the microphone bracket on purpose, but so yeah, my Rode mic is broken. But anyway, yeah, that's basically it. So see you out there, guys, and see you next time.